Okay, so we're going to start here now with the sombrado. Now remember, we already did open and close scissor. Okay, so sombrado is merely open and close scissor. It can be many more things than that, but we cannot really cover every variation of sombrado because there are hundreds. Okay. Secondarily, you would never open the combat with this move. So if he's going to strike me with a forehand strike, I'm not going to open the combat with that move because he might fake that and it's going to lead me into getting my wrist busted or my head busted. So we know that the leadoff move was probably that strike, the secondary move is probably that strike, and then the tertiary move now is probably into the scissor now. So the scissor might be the tertiary move, okay, depending, okay? But we're going to isolate the scissor because it's a structure from which you can understand the sombrado. Okay, so we're going to start the sombrado with me feeding a number one strike, and Doc will scissor that. He will answer back with a backhand strike, and I will scissor that, okay? And then I will return a 15, which he will scissor. Now, instead of cycling the drill right now, we're going to answer with the left side automatically. And then he's going to answer with his left, and then I'm going to answer with my left. And he'll cycle me first, his left strike, my left strike, his left strike, then he'll go to the right strike. Okay, so it looks like that. That is your base of fire sombrado for double stick or double baston or double sword. Okay, so that's, see the hand is hitting there, the hand is hitting here, and the hand is hitting there. So we just cycle through the sombrado at long middle range. Okay, so we're just moving our feet because we want to stay outside of the arc of the weapon. Okay, so that puts me in the position to be able to strike the flesh. Now we're going to go back and we're going to just repeat this one time with the soft stick, and we're going to use a shorter stick so that we don't get out of the camera. It's really hard to stay in the camera at this distance unless we put the camera so far back then you really can't tell. So it's a compromise here. So what we're going to do is we use a soft stick. He's going to strike the flesh, and I'm going to strike the flesh. Then he's going to strike the flesh, and then I'm going to strike the flesh. He's going to strike the flesh, and then I'm going to strike the flesh. So that's the right side, and then right away I feed the left side. So now we're exercising both sides of the body in one exercise. Okay, so in one exercise, we're exercising both sides of the body. See that? So I'm feeding left and right, and then he feeds left and right. Okay, and this is a little bit difficult, even with the shorter sticks, for us to naturally stay inside of this camera feed here in order to do this exercise. Okay, because it's really, you want to be really outside the arc of that weapon. Okay, so there's no blocking really going on here. It's all striking. Okay, so that's the number one, what we call the base of fire sombrado. Okay, that's what we call the base of fire sombrado. Now I know and I realize that a lot of people are going to do the sombrado with the riposte on the inside of the hand like that. See that? So they're doing an inside riposte, and then they're doing the root. See that? Which is okay to do that, but you really don't want to practice that with double stick, because immediately you're teaching yourself to fall into that strike zone. Okay? So you can do that most of the time after you have hit the secondary hand. So you could do that too, but I don't want to set my feet in sombrado and do this, right? I don't want to set my feet there. Realize a lot of people do that. I'm not trying to say anything bad about their training method, I'm just not going to teach you to do that. Okay. Now there's a time and a place for it, but not in sombrado here. Okay. So that is what we call the 1-4-15 right, 1-4-15 left, recycle 1-4-15 right, 1-4-15 left. So the partners are both getting left exercise and both getting right exercise. And then the number can vary on the odd number. It could be any odd number. So I can start with a 3, and he can hit back a 2, and I can hit back a 2, or a 1 or a 15. And then he can hit a 3, and I can hit back an 8, and he can hit back a 7 or a 1 or a 15. It wouldn't matter, and you should do all of those. But we don't really, if I try to teach that on this DVD set, then you will really have probably 15 DVDs by the time we're done with that. Now we will get maybe into that as we get into the possibility of filming just a sombrado only video set, okay? So right now we're going to stick with the base of fire. Okay, so that's your base of fire sombrado. And you should work that at the scissor range, which we call number 5 in our technique, right? And that's open and closed scissor used together. So that's the first sombrado. Okay, it's just the first sombrado. But okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into what we call the medium range. Okay, so this is the middle range or media range. Okay, and the first thing we want to talk about is how we get there. So he already did a number 1 strike, he did a number 2 strike, then he scissored, okay, then he answered, and then I hit here, and then as I make my second entry, that's when he'll enter Atacado Cerrado. Okay, so your pathway is defined like that. And we do this as an isolation exercise. Then we go back and we put it in the sombrado, and then we go back and we put it with the pathways. If you try to do it all at once, you're going to have a brain fart, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so he's going to do Atacado Cerrado here. Atacado Cerrado here. Cumbiada or cadena real, cumbiada, then he'll do Atacado Cerrado with 1, so that's the same hand, we call it the windshield wiper. Then he'll windshield wiper this one, okay? Then he's going to roof and hit, and then he's going to roof and hit this one, okay? And you can see now, once you get to that point, now we're getting into the corto range where probably any kind of disarming will take place. So all we're doing here is isolating the Atacado Cerrado. See the position? I know this can already thrust, and this can already thrust, and this can already hit. But I'm not going to do that yet. I know that that will go right in the airway, and I'll push him away. But right now I'm not going to do that, because then I can't have a trade part. Okay? And right from this position, I will do the cumbiada. And then hit, and then I do the cumbiada, and here. Now when that one comes, I do cumbiada, and then Atacado Cerrado, and then I do Atacado Cerrado, and then cumbiada, and then this one lifts, and this one strikes, and that one hits. That's called roof hit. This one lifts, strikes, and that one hits. So that is your base of fire Cuba, just in a very, very simple base structure. Okay? However, we have a secondary structure which is a little bit further away. Okay? So he's going to catch this one, and he's going to lift it, and he's going to trap it down, and he's going to strike. Then he'll do it on his left. We call that 1 inside, 1 outside. Trap and then strike. Okay, then he'll do 2 on the outside, knock it down, and that's really going to knock the hand like that. For train, we just trap the stick and strike. Then he does 2 on the outside and strike. Then he does 1 outside, which is like a pass. Then he does 1 outside, and that's like a pass. So if I get into the position, I move that. That might be a backhand strike like that, or that could be a strike like that. When I strike it down, that's when I'm going to strike it. The 2 on the outside, if you can see it, it's just a 4 count spin along. Okay? And then this one here, I just move to the side. So that's like a number 2 with an entry. Okay? And number 2 being the number of the strategic entries, not a number 2 as an angle 2. Okay? So don't get confused by that. So what we do is here, we do 1 inside, 1 outside strike. 1 inside, 1 outside strike. 2 on the outside strike. 2 on the outside strike. 1 on the outside strike. 1 on the outside strike. That's how you should do it first, so that you understand that it's a hitting game there. Okay. Then you can do the hubad, which is I allow him to block that. So now we're doing the right side entry. And you can see I can turn that into 2 on the outside anytime I want. Okay, and that isolates that progression. And then I can, anytime I want, throw a 1 in. Okay? Which is not unlike two outside, 2 outside, 2 outside, 2 outside, 1 outside, 1 outside. Okay, and so you can go through that progression with the partner actually returning the cycle to you. But I think it's better if you do right and left with a power stroke first, and then go into the hubad. Otherwise, you get into that old problem that I see all the time is patty cake bakers, man. You're not going to really learn anything that way. You develop the muscle memory, but the muscle memory is actually shoddy because you're not striking. Just like when you do the sombrado like that, click, 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 you forget that should be smash, click, smash, click, smash, click, smash. So the same thing here, when he hits me with that, I happen to be in that position, that's already smashing the hand, that's already smashing the hand, that's cleaning his spot. And if you see that on the other side, I'm really smashing the hand down, and that's really gonna clean his cloth. When I do 2 on the outside, see, I'm really going to, that's gonna have I sound like a bee going by his head, right? Now you have to be rather careful doing that. So a lot of times we have a tendency to do that portion with a soft stick. Okay, so when we go to the soft stick like that, we're going to do 7 variations of hubad. Okay, so we're going to start with Atacado Serrada. We're using a short stick. Atacado Serrada, Cumbiada, Cumbiada. Okay, Cumbiada, Atacado Serrada. That's we call same because you use 1 stick against my 2. Then he puts his left stick up and he hits through and traps it down. I'm sorry, that's roof and hit. And then this one goes 1 in, 1 out, whoosh. 1 in, 1 out, whoosh. 2 outside, whoosh. 2 outside, whoosh. 1 outside, whoosh. 1 outside, whoosh. Okay, so that's how you can practice that exercise. And you can isolate those 1 by 1. You could train it as a group, or you could isolate them 1 by 1 with a sombrado entry, or you could just isolate them 1 by 1 with a pathways entry. So what's a pathways entry? It's a hit here, and then one in, one out, whoosh. That's a pathways entry. It's a hit here, and two out, whoosh, entry, okay? It's a hit here, and a hit here, and a one in, one out entry, okay? So you could do it like that. You could do that out of a full sombrado setting, and you could do it as a dry fire setting where I just go like that, do just one whoosh.